If you're over 50, you're making an effort, eating better, even trying to exercise, and that belly still won't go down, you need to hear this carefully. It's not that you lack discipline, it's that you're fighting the wrong problem. And today, I'm going to show you how to start fixing it in a smart and effective way. You can do hundreds of crunches a day, cut your food intake to the minimum, even exhaust yourself working out, and that abdominal fat can still be there. Why does this happen? Because most people believe all fat is the same, just stored energy. But the reality is very different. That soft fat you can pinch, the one just under your skin, is not the real issue. The real enemy is a type of fat you can't easily see or touch. It sits deeper inside your abdomen, surrounding vital organs like your liver, pancreas, and even your heart. That's visceral fat. And here's something important. You can have slim arms and legs, even a lean face, and still carry a dangerous amount of this fat inside. This is what's known as being thin on the outside, fat on the inside. And in many cases, it can be even riskier than visible overweight. But here's what you need to understand clearly. Even though this fat is the most dangerous, it's also one of the most responsive when you apply the right strategies. In this video, I'm going to explain step by step, in a very simple way, how this fat actually works and what you can do to start reducing it. We'll talk about an approach inspired by Japanese practices that combines specific foods, natural compounds, and a particular way of moving your body that has shown very interesting results in a short time. So for a moment, set aside what you've been trying, open your mind, and stay with me, because what you're about to learn can completely change the way you understand your body. To eliminate this type of fat, you first need to understand how it behaves. It's not the same as the fat in your arms or under your skin. That superficial fat is more like storage, a reserve. It's there, but it doesn't interfere much. Visceral fat, on the other hand, is active. It behaves almost like another organ inside your body. It releases inflammatory substances, disrupts your hormonal balance, and makes it harder for your body to properly manage blood sugar. It's like a silent intruder that settles around your organs and slowly starts affecting how they function. Many of my patients come in worried because they're not that overweight, but they feel their abdomen is firm, protruding, as if something is pushing from the inside. I remember a 62-year-old man who told me, "Doctor, I don't understand. I don't eat that much, but this belly won't go away." When we evaluated him, it was clear the issue wasn't how much he ate, but the type of fat he was accumulating. There's a simple way to start identifying this at home. If you touch your abdomen and it feels soft and moves easily, it's usually superficial fat. But if your abdomen feels firm, hard, almost inflated outward, that's where you need to pay attention. That internal pressure is a warning sign you shouldn't ignore. So what do we do about it? It's not about doing more of the same. We need a different, more targeted strategy. A three-step approach: reduce what feeds this fat, block the processes that support it, and help your body use it as energy. The first step has to do with food, but not in the traditional way. It's not just about eating healthy in general, but understanding what's actually causing this type of fat. In many cases, it comes from excess energy that creates internal stress in your body. Imagine your cells as an engine. When that engine runs too hard for too long, it starts to wear down. That internal wear creates the perfect environment for visceral fat to grow and stay. To counter this, we need to help the body clean up that internal stress. And this is where a group of powerful natural compounds comes in, found in deeply colored foods, especially vegetables. These compounds are what give vegetables their color: the orange in carrots, the red in tomatoes, the deep green in spinach. Inside your body, they help protect, rebalance, and activate processes that support fat burning. Studies have shown that when you consistently include them in your diet, they not only protect your cells but also stimulate internal mechanisms that help reduce stored fat. That's why, instead of focusing only on eating less, the real focus here is eating better and with intention. Including foods like carrots, spinach, peppers, squash, or sweet potatoes can make a significant difference. And here's something important to keep in mind. Highly processed, pale, or refined foods often provide energy without these protective benefits, making it easier for this type of fat to persist. If this is helping you better understand what's happening in your body, consider subscribing to the channel and turning on notifications, because here we share simple, practical strategies that can truly make a difference in your health. In the next section, we'll look at how certain compounds found in very common drinks can help block the processes that promote fat accumulation, and how you can start applying this easily in your daily routine. If you've been trying to lose that deep belly fat that you can't see but can feel, and nothing seems to work, here's a practical key you can start using today. It's not just about what you eat, it's also about what you drink and how you move. And once you understand this, everything starts to change. When you choose foods with intense colors like orange, red, or dark green, you're helping your body far more than you realize. It's a simple way to know you're adding compounds that support fat burning from within. But now, I want you to focus on something most people overlook: what you drink every day. There is a very common drink that works like a key for your fat cells. You've probably heard that green tea burns fat, and maybe you thought it was just a myth. It's not. But you need to understand how it works to use it properly. Green tea contains natural compounds called polyphenol, and one in particular matters most, EGCG. Let me explain it simply. Imagine your fat cells have a locked door. That fat is there, but it's not always easily released. These compounds help unlock that door, activating your system so your body can start using that fat as energy. But that's not all. They also help slow down an enzyme responsible for breaking down dietary fat so your body can absorb it. In other words, while you help your body use stored fat, you're also limiting how much new fat gets in. It's like putting a smart filter in place. I remember Marta, a 58-year-old patient, who came in frustrated because she felt she was doing everything right, but her abdomen wouldn't change. We adjusted a few key habits, including replacing certain drinks with properly prepared green tea, and within weeks, she started noticing less bloating and more energy. It wasn't magic, it was understanding the process. Now, here's where many people make a big mistake. Drinking bottled green tea, loaded with sugar, won't help. In fact, it can make things worse, especially for your liver. What you want is high-quality green tea like matcha or sencha, where you get a much higher concentration of these beneficial compounds. There's also an interesting synergy. The natural caffeine in tea works together with these compounds to enhance the effect. One activates your system, the other helps access stored fat. Together, they make the process more efficient. Now we reach a fundamental part: movement. You can improve your diet, yes, but if you're not moving the right way, you're missing a crucial piece. Losing weight doesn't always mean losing the most dangerous fat. You can see the scale go down and still carry visceral fat. That's where proper exercise makes all the difference. You don't need to run marathons or push yourself to exhaustion. In fact, too much can work against you. Let me share something powerful. Multiple studies have been analyzed, and in one specific case, participants exercised just twice a week for 45 minutes. Nothing extreme. But they did it at a specific intensity. After 2 months, their weight barely changed, but their visceral fat dropped almost by half. And not only that, their blood sugar control improved significantly. Their bodies were functioning better internally. This is where you need to let go of the obsession with the scale. What truly matters doesn't always show immediately, but you can feel it and it reflects in your health. So how do you know you're at the right intensity? There's a simple method. If you can sing comfortably while walking, it's too easy. If you're so out of breath you can't say a word, it's too intense. The sweet spot is in the middle. You should be able to speak in full sentences, but with some effort. Like when you've just climbed a few flights of stairs and feel slightly out of breath, but you can still talk. That's the zone where you start activating the burn of that deep, stubborn fat. And here's the key: it's not about doing more, it's about doing it better. When you combine smart nutrition, the right drinks, and well-targeted movement, your body stops working against you and starts working in your favor. There's a very common mistake I see every day in my practice. People who want to lose belly fat quickly, and the first thing they do is stop eating. They drastically cut calories, fast without preparation, eat once a day without structure, thinking it will speed things up. But this is where things go wrong. Your body is not a simple machine. When it detects you're eating too little, it switches into defense mode. It thinks you're in a period of scarcity. So it slows down your metabolism and holds on to fat, especially that deep fat you're trying to lose. In other words, while you're trying to get rid of it, your body is doing everything it can to keep it. I say this from experience. I'm Dr. Gabriel Mena, and I remember a 64-year-old patient who came in completely frustrated. He barely ate during the day, yet his belly wouldn't change. When we looked deeper, the issue wasn't lack of effort, it was the wrong strategy. Once we adjusted his nutrition and added proper movement, his body finally started to respond. This is where exercise becomes a game changer. Unlike restrictive dieting, movement doesn't hit the same wall. In fact, the more you apply it correctly, the better the results. Research has shown something very important. Exercise has a progressive effect on visceral fat. The more you do, the more you reduce it. And most importantly, it doesn't seem to have the same plateau effect as dieting. Do a little, get a little. Do more to get more. It's that simple. That's why the smart strategy is not to starve yourself. It's to nourish your body properly and use movement to create the change. So let's turn this into a simple plan you can start tomorrow. First, look at your plate. If everything is dull or brown, that's your signal to improve it. Add at least 1 serving of deeply colored vegetables to every meal. Carrots, spinach, peppers, these colors are your allies. Second, adjust what you drink. Replace that extra daily coffee with a quality green tea like matcha. Avoid sugar. If you like, add a bit of lemon. This helps your body limit fat absorption and better use stored fat. Third, move with intention. You don't need extreme routines. You need consistency and the right intensity. Aim for 3 to 4 sessions per week, around 45 minutes each. Walk uphill, cycle, swim, just get your body moving. And remember this simple rule. If you can talk effortlessly while moving, increase the intensity a bit. That small push makes a big difference. Now, there's something even more important than all of this: consistency. One intense week means nothing if you stop after. The best exercise is not the one that burns the most calories on paper. It's the one you'll still be doing 3 months from now. If you hate running, don't run. Find something you enjoy. Walk with weight, swim, dance, anything that raises your heart rate and that you can sustain over time will be far more effective. Visceral fat is silent, but dangerous. It's linked to many chronic diseases that appear over the years. But here's the encouraging part. Your body has an incredible ability to recover. It just needs the right signals. Stop fighting your body with extreme strategies. Start nourishing it properly, move it intelligently, and you'll begin to see real change over time. And if this helped you see things differently, consider subscribing and turning on notifications, because here we continue sharing practical tools that can truly improve your health.